interfacing. Really love this fabric. Not very good with colors, but there are a lot of really great color resources online that I've tried to use, and I used one for this. Wanted something that's a little bit summery, so went online and found a color palette that suited some summer colors. And then I went to the store and matched it up, and I think it's going to turn out good, but we will see. Nice to have people in your life that you can rely on, or resources that you can rely on to help with colors, if you're like me and not so good. I can't tell you how many times I've picked out an outfit and had to ask somebody, does this match? Or does this match too much? But if there's one thing that I'm not afraid to do, is ask for help. And, oh, wrong side. There's number 3. So we've got all the pieces that we need for the body and the pockets for this project. Pretty excited. Let's see what happens. We've also got to cut some elastics. My first time using elastic for a project, so pretty excited. This stuff's awesome. Got a whole bunch of it. And yeah, can't wait. Found a fuse. Got our iron hot. But I'm gonna put it to no steam. And something I learned last time we were making the shirt was that there's 2 sides to the interfacing. One side's really smooth, and the other side has sort of a rough texture to it, and that's the side with the glue. So I don't know if you can see it, but a little bit rough on one side. And you're gonna wanna put that on the wrong side of the fabric. We'll line it up. And then I just made this thing that you put over the thing you're going to interface. Not sure what it's called, but I just made it from an old pillowcase that I sort of disassembled. I'm gonna drape that over. And then, hopefully, the fusing will go better than last time. It takes a little bit longer than you think it might. But I guess that glue's gotta heat up to get stuck. Fusing. I'm about to fuse this. Fuse it up, baby, come on, light my fuse. I got no excuse not to fuse. Alright, I think we're fused. Cool. For this project, I'm going to use some new thread I just bought. It's a really nice navy blue here. Very excited. Got to get the bobbin wound, and then we'll get to sewing. I love the sound of a bobbin being wound in the morning. For the top 2 pockets, we're going to sew seam allowance of 6 millimeters or 1/4 of an inch across the top opening here. There we go. Looks pretty good. And now we're going to pull these 2 right side out. So they look like this. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this, but I have not figured that out yet. First time, folks. First time. Can't tell if I've had too much coffee or too little. Alright, there we go. So, we're going to get these pressed and then move on to the next step. And now for the bottom pocket, we're not going to stitch like we did along this edge. We're going to stitch along the top edge, and we're only going to use a 3 millimeter seam allowance here. Pretty tight. Let's see if we can do it. Gonna go slow. Not too shabby. And now for some additional 3 millimeter lines on the other side of our pockets. So this is the thing we just stitched before. And now we're going to stitch the other side at 3 millimeters. As you can see, we've got a couple of lines drawn here on the inside of the item. We've got these chalk lines here to help us know where our pockets are going to go. And I'm using this new chalk pencil I got. If you saw the shirt video, you'll know that I had a little bit of trouble getting the blue chalk marks off that shirt, and they actually haven't come off yet, so I'm hoping that with a few more washes, maybe they'll come out. But anyway, we'll see how this works, and it's working all right now, but yeah, we'll see. So I'm going to put one pocket here, the next pocket's going to go there, and the third pocket, of course, will go here. So let's sew it up and see what happens. Man, it is something special to watch her work in it. Woo! Look at her go. Slow and steady. Last one. Here we go. Starting to look pretty good. Sweet. Alright, we got the outside cover of the piece here. Got my elastic, and in the pattern there's an indicator of where the elastic should go, so I've made a little chalk mark. Just going to line up my elastic and pin it on the center there. Somehow, not a good pinner. Okay, this is something I can work on. Okay, hopefully that works. I feel like I might go over that one more time, just because it's going to be being used a lot and I want it to be really secure. Okay, that should do it. Looks good. Alright, we got our elastic attached. Now I'm going to take the main body and flip it over to where the right sides are facing each other. Make sure the elastic looks good in there. Now let's clip this whole thing together. Alright, now we're going to put our seam allowance on. That's going to be 1/4 of an inch or 6 millimeters. But we're going to leave a little space right here so we can unfold it later and pull it out. I don't know how some people sew without making a mark basically everywhere. I guess you just get really good at it over time. I have no idea. I mean, there's also the measurement things on the actual machine, but it is difficult for me to fathom how anybody could get good enough. I suppose you could also use a seam allowance guide. I have seen those, but I don't know, maybe one day I'll get one. Right now though, it feels cool to just do it like this. Not really going for speed. Maybe one day I will, but that day is not today. It's more about just enjoying the process, which I have been. Really giving me something to do while I wait for somebody to buy my book. Had a book out on submission now for quite a while, and people have said some good stuff about it, but no one's wanted to buy it. But that doesn't mean they won't in the future. So, just holding out hope. Ready to sew? Here we go. Turn to the left. Oh, nope, gotta go a little bit farther. There we go. That just feels so cool to do for some reason. I don't know why. And see what it looks like. Okay. Cool. Let's turn it inside out, or right side out, I guess. Alright, before we turn it out, we're just going to snip a few corners. Make it a little easier on ourselves. Hopefully that'll help when it comes to pushing them out. Make it look a little more streamlined. Alright, let's see what we got. Hopefully it comes out kind of easy. But I might have sewn it a little bit too narrow for the opening. Oh boy. Wow, this is not easy. Really don't want to strain these stitches too much. It's kind of thick. Get those layers in there. Come on out of there. Note to self, next time leave a little bit more of an opening. Make it a little easier on yourself. Almost there. Alright, cool. Now we're going to use our point turner. That's part of our seam gauge. Find the opening that's right there. And poke them out. Wow, that's sweet. And this corner is being a little stubborn, but we'll get it out. Alright, not too shabby. Now, about to iron this thing down all the way around, and then we're going to stitch, and then stitch right here in the middle. Now all we got to do is go all the way around one more time, and then back up the middle. And that'll give us our folds. So, wish me luck. I don't know if my needle's getting blunt or what. Might be time to change. It also could be fallout from the button that I snapped in half last time with the needle. Now that was a real doozy. A little bit bunched up. Always want to turn too early. I know this is the part I definitely got to get really right, because these folds have to get sewn in there. I got to go real close to the edge. Alright, now do I want to do this one first and then come over here to end? Or I want to come back to the beginning and go back around like that? I think I want to come back to the beginning, go up, come around, and maybe finish it off there with another back stitch. Right there. Now we're going to come down. I wanted to leave a little space there just to kind of accent the fold. See how it looks. Here's our final product. Snip off some of the seams. And I think it looks pretty good. Here's the outside. Kind of cool to see the stitching around the whole thing. I like that. I don't know whether I would do this again, but it's alright. Little bit crooked there. That's okay. Inside looks cool. I really like the way the color palette turned out. I think it's very summery and feels good. This bottom part right here, yeah, that could use a little work, but there's a first time for everything. So if you haven't figured it out yet from the hints from my previous video that was explaining the raffle, and from watching this one, we've got ourselves a T-wallet here. So next time you go on vacation, you can take all your tea with you. Let's say you're going camping, you gotta have your tea, right? And now there's an easy way to take your tea with you. You just put this on and we're good to go. Well folks, I think our project turned out to be pretty good. Big shout out to everyone who entered the contest, and if you're a big winner, congratulations. I'm sure there's going to be more like this in the future, so stick around and keep watching out for those videos. But right now, I think it's time to enjoy a nice cup of tea using my new T-wallet. Oh yeah. Big shout out to hellosewing.com, where I found the pattern for this T-wallet, and a big shout out to everyone who's following the videos. I'll see you guys soon, and stay tuned.